Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing the last Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park against Everton versus Liverpool, where the referee, Michael Oliver, decided to make the game all about him. I promise you there's nothing dodgy about this referee at all, even though he's the same referee that didn't send Kovacic off twice when Manchester City were playing Arsenal, or he gave that really dodgy penalty when he was on VAR with, who was it? Casemiro put a little shirt pull in the box to let Man City win the game, or the dodgy Doku, when you're allowed to stud somebody in the chest, and that's not a penalty at all. And there's loads more. We are going to be talking about that in a video that I'm bringing out because it's about time that because I don't really try to get into the gossip of football. I just give you the technical analysis and the breakdowns of how to do things better, right, become a better player and a better coach, like I always say. Now, one of the other sayings that I've used quite frequently is learn to manipulate the crowd, learn to manipulate the referee. So we're going to talk a lot more about the game and all those sort of decisions. I'm going to jump on them, but I am putting a video out either tonight or tomorrow about how football's dying and why it's dying. As soon as you see it, you'll agree with me 100%. Now, when the referee is terrible like this, there's a couple of ways you can react, right? If you start reacting like, the referee's against you, the referee is going to be against you. You have to play the same game of the same diving and the same manipulation that the other team's doing. Okay? You have to. And there's certain ways you do this, right? So you know that the other team is going to foul you and kick you, and then they're going to dive. And the referee is giving them more decisions than they're giving you. You have to force the referee's hand. So the way you do that is by holding on to possession of the ball and dribbling the football. Don't pass it. Get the whack. Take it. They're going to kick you. They're going to foul you. And you go over. You're going to see, blatant fouls, like there was a Mo Salah one. And here's the other part. Today, it took me a little bit longer to try to get this because I wanted to find these clips of these fouls, and you could barely find them. They're not in the highlights. They just memory hold them straight away. And that's it's so hard. You've got to sort of try to record the actual game in real time and then do it yourself, because otherwise they don't put all the fouls out. And also don't give you any decent camera angles for anything that is a foul or not a foul. When someone's dove and it clearly hasn't been touched, they don't show you the camera angles. They just don't. It's not there. You'll see it and then, it's gone. In real time, you'll see it in the game, but trying to find it back, it's just never there. But let's talk a bit first, because this goal is from a dive, and they get a free kick. So I'm going to show you the dive first, I think, and then we're going to cover this. But I say it all the time, Liverpool's at fault here. Look at how high this line is. They're giving Everton the space to run into. Instead of defending the 18-yard box, dropping, and actually defending properly, they're letting Everton have this space to pass the ball and run into. They're doing it all the time. And I know why they're doing it. I know why they looked at the stats and statistics. But I was explaining this the other day to somebody in football, and they were going, oh, yeah, but Cash, why is this happening? Well, because the people that are doing the stats and statistics really don't know anything about football. Like, a lot of coaches really don't know anything about football. Ex-players really don't know anything about football. So one thing with statistics is when you have a bad question, you get a bad answer, right? So the bad question could be, okay, how many times, if we've got a high line like this, do we defend the free kicks? Okay, and is it more viable to drop deeper? Well, you're looking at the different data sets, because if you're looking at the different data sets from different years, people do this more often than not, right? They don't drop back here anymore. So therefore, you've got a bigger data set. So it's going to say, oh, we defend these more than we do back here. Well, and it gets all really convoluted up in the stats and statistics. But I'm telling you, I do this week in, week out, and the amount of goals scored because teams push a high line and they give the bad team an easy ball in behind, and off they go to score. It's very, very simple. Let's look at the challenge first that led up to this incident. Oh, and I also do want to comment on the fight at the end of the game. It's completely 100% the referee's fault. He's completely lost control of this game in the first 15 minutes. That's why that's happened. I've never seen a game where there's been a fight because the ref hasn't lost control. That's always the reason. So here we are. We're watching this as he comes in. Look, dump, there we go. Is that touch? Nope. But his dive sells it. Look at that. Woof. Hurdles two players that aren't even touching him. That's what sells it. Yeah, not a foul for me. I don't know if it's a foul for you. Let me know. So here we are. Look at this acres and acres of space. Here, Beto is making his run, and all he's got to do is finish it because they've given him this much room to pass a ball in, and then it's just a foot race. Now, The interesting thing with a foot race, even if you're a little bit faster than the other player, you have to be a lot faster if they get that running head start on you. And here, he's made a little curved running head start, so he's going to be first there. The pass isn't a great pass. It's a good pass. It does exactly what it's supposed to. Puts it into the space, not too much pace so it goes to the goalkeeper, just enough to keep it, from anyone else getting hold of it, rolling into the space, and he's just looking there to make a finish. Of course, look, the defender's on the wrong side of him. Well, yeah, that's another problem. But it's just too easy. And it all comes from that high defensive line. You can argue about the foul all you want, but the foul's gone. And immediately, as soon as that's gone, you've got to drop, hold your shape, do a better job. When you are high, giving them space in behind and letting them have that for an easy run, tap in goal, that is on you. Not good enough in any way, shape or form if you want to win the league. I did watch this game as well, and Liverpool really didn't do some of the really simple things to just turn Everton apart. They could have just done it easily. David Moyes is an old school coach. He's not very good. And people will say, oh, but Cash, he's done this with West Ham. Yeah, but he's not a good coach. He makes his team hard to beat. He whacks it up to the big man up top, and that's it. It's not a good coach. That means he organises people, gets them to be compact, doesn't really create or do anything. It's like, who's that guy at Atletico Madrid? I hate to watch that football team. It would just drive me mad because they're not trying to play football. They're just trying to get a result. Now, if you're just trying to get a result because you're worried about getting relegated, I get it. But David Moyes has been doing this his whole career. It's just horrible football. I would just hate to watch it. I really would. It would just drive me mad. But you can see they've got 10 players behind the ball, which is fantastic. But also, as you've got 10 players behind the ball, you still let Mo Salah be unmarked, which to me is amazing because they were doing a good job marking Salah most of the game, but all of a sudden, they don't bother. Now, this is fantastic from Alexi McAllister. He is, I hate saying he's becoming a player that I like because there's only a couple of players there. So, a couple of players I do like. Darwin Núñez is one because he's just chaos, and so is Jamie Vardy. But after he passes the ball, he carries on his run. And this is where Everton just go to sleep. They can easily track him, easily follow him, and they just don't. As we move this forward, look, just goes, off he goes, bum, bum, bum. No, everyone just lets him be. Now, this is the other thing that happens with reputational players. They assume if it's a Saka or a Mo Salah, they're going to do something, so we have to get around there. And they forget that there's other players on the field a lot of the time. And that's why Mo Salah's getting so much more assists this year, where he can just flick it over to somebody else and they score because they overcommit. And when I mean overcommit, it's not just coming down with 2 or 3 players, it's they overcommit their focus. So these 2 players here are focused. Oh, is Salah going to come into the box? Look, there's a bunch of players behind you on mark, boys. What are you doing? Mark them up. As soon as this goes in, though, Dom, the little wee man gets his flick and he gets his header. If he does it honestly, if he's any taller, he probably puts it over the bar. It's just perfect height, perfect everything on that header. And away we go. Back into the chaos that is this game. And this is more of that football is dying. I saw this replay live. I'm looking at why are we even looking at this? I'll tell you why. Because they want to make drama. It's all about making the drama. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Because they're trying to, it's about the product on the field. Remember, football is entertainment. And that's how they think of it. They don't understand that football was the entertainment. They're like, no, we've got to make it entertaining. Because that's how we do in the NFL and in wrestling and all this other nonsense. Right? This is a handball by Beto pushing it back. I mean, it's not even a second look. Watch. There you go. That's the Everton player pushing the ball. And you know he pushes it because he pushes it onto to Konate's hand there and it goes back the other way. It's not even worth a second look. You can tell because the flight of the ball has changed. The only way it's changing directory is if the Everton player pushes it. Yeah, move on. No one, who cares? Let's move on. But they're trying to make drama because the product on the field is getting poor. The quality of football is getting poor. The level of coaching is poor. The referee level is poor. So we have to create drama because we need a product on the field. And it's getting worse. Here we go as well. This is quite interesting. This is building up for the next goal. So we've got a ball coming in, right? There's no Liverpool player anywhere near this ball. None. This is how bad of a goalkeeper this clown is. All he has to do is come out and catch this ball. Right there. Look, it's not even a high-paced ball. Very slow, very slow. He can move, come out and collect that. But instead, because they're not really trying to play football or do anything decent, and he's not actually trained properly, he should easily come and get that ball, the goalkeeper. Piece of cake. Problem solved. Still no Liverpool player close enough. He can even make a mistake and then still pick it up. But doesn't. Instead, he's got a defender stretching for the ball because he's, kind of out of position, but the defender makes a massive mistake. There's still no Liverpool player to punish him. They're all in panic mode. Like, what do you relax? Don't stretching. Now you're in problems. Because now you've got a defender on the floor who's cleared the ball to nowhere inside of the 18-yard box because your goalkeeper didn't come and pick up a simple cross. I mean, it's not hard. There's very few players I don't like. James Maddison. The reason I don't like Jordan Pickford as a player and a human being is because I don't think I've ever seen him do anything other than scream at his teammates. He'll put up a great save, and the first thing he'll do is start berating and screaming at his teammates all of the time. Awful person. Awful. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my team or my football club. Terrible human being. So let's move this forward ever so slightly. Little touch in. Now, do like Darwin Núñez, just because you just don't know what you're going to get. I'm surprised he didn't come into this game and just immediately get sent off for doing something stupid. That's kind of why I like him. Because football, different story. But this is a quality little first touch from him. Really is. Lays the ball off very, very nicely. And it's a snapshot. To be fair, I think this is Curtis Jones. He should have done better here. He really should have finished. This should have been a goal. He shouldn't have been relying on Mo Salah to clear up his mess on the back post. This should have been a goal. That's your opportunity. You've got plenty of quality in you. This kiddie can put it through his legs. He can put it up here. He can put it far corner. He can put it top corner. He has the ability to do that, and he doesn't. He puts it in the right, almost in the middle of the goal, where Pickford can save it. But Liverpool, you can see, have slowly encroached on the box and kept this space really tight. So now Mo Salah, the Bobby Dazzler, on the back post, puts it in. I don't understand why this guy doesn't get the recognition of like some of the great goal scorers, because this guy has really been fantastic in the Premier League. Yeah. And I think there's I don't know how much of a media bias there is really against Liverpool. But when you've got all of the Manchester United, and people say, oh, Jamie Carragher and there's a couple, but I'm not really talking about sort of Sky and that. Over the world, I think there's a lot of ex-Man United players that do put a spin on Liverpool players. And I think obviously Liverpool players do it the same way. But there's something that's in the media that we don't know about, that why they don't push Mo Salah. Is it because he's a Muslim? I don't know. I don't think it's that, because, well, they gave the World Cup to Qatar, didn't they? There's nothing wrong with it. So there's something about Mo Salah why they don't want him to win a Ballon d'Or and push him forward and be a great, an all-time great, because he is. He's an all-time great. But let's just go to this controversy of this little bit of a fight. But before we do, this is one of those things I had to search for. And of course, the clowns are all putting their watermark in the bottom, so I have to move things about. Oh, God, just share it. Who cares about your brand and your stupid crap? Just get it done, right? So this here is a clear foul on Mo Salah as he's running down. Look, there he is. Boom, kicks him over. Referee's watching. Referee doesn't give the foul. Boom, done over straight away. Referee's looking at him. Not given. Last couple of minutes of the game, they go back down the other end and score. Make it 2-2. Well, why is that not given? We all know why it's not given. But everyone tries to gaslight you into saying that the referees aren't corrupt. Yes, they are. You can't look at me in the eye and tell me that that's not a foul. Just like you can't look at me in the eye and tell me that the other one was a foul. So if that's two decisions, when the referee's blatantly looking at it, you either say he's completely incompetent, which isn't true. You're not there because you're incompetent. You're not there because you're bad at refereeing. You've been a great referee. You're there because you're corrupt. That's why you're there, and we need to start saying it. Because everyone's sick and tired of it. From if you're a Wolves fan, from when Onana clattered your goalkeeper, your striker on the opening day of the season, to when Nottingham Forest, I think, had to employ a ex-referee, because they were getting sanctioned all the time for complaining about the referees because they were that bad and they were that dodgy towards Nottingham Forest. Wolverhampton Wanderers had something like 48 VAR decisions go against them that were clear and obvious that they should have had. Yeah. We know it's dodgy, but what they hope and they also think is that all the fans are stupid and the next game kicks in and you forget about the controversy of the last one. That's what they want you to do. And it's unacceptable, and we need to start calling it out. But there we go. Let's get into the fight. Oh, before we get into the fight, I haven't even got into the last goal yet. So, again, this is a foul. You can see it, and this is where you go, oh, but VAR, right? In another game, they would be calling this and saying, no, the flight of the ball is coming straight down on Kanate. He's pushed out of the way by the Everton player. That's what would happen. It would be taken off. But because of this thing where they're trying to make controversy in certain games, because what did Michael Oliver say? I play the occasion, not the. I play the occasion, not the game. So what he basically means is he's not playing by the rules. He's playing by what he wants the outcome to be. That's what they're saying. Okay, that's why football's dead. And many other reasons, but we're going to come on to that soon. Pushed out the way, bounce. Now also you've got like. If you're Liverpool and you're trying to win the league, you should really just honestly been controlling the last couple of seconds of this game better, and they haven't. They've put themselves in this situation. Yeah, the referee's made a bad call, but you've also put yourselves in this situation in the first place. You should have done better throughout the game, controlled the game a little bit better. There was a time I think Gatpo should have gone down when for a second yellow card, and that's what I mean about playing the referee. You have to do those things in these situations to keep control of the game. That's what you need to do. And if he doesn't get sent off, basically you're looking at the ref going, well, we all know, ref. We all know. And he probably should have gone back because if he wasn't on a yellow card, the ref would have gone back and yellow carded him because he was pulling him back so much. But I digress. I was looking for that clip and I couldn't find it. It was like, thanks, Twitter. Great. Completely free on the back post. Like normally I'd be yelling at Andy Robinson for not doing his job properly because he's been quite bad lately. But look, there he is, wrestling and fighting. He can't even move. He's been held back right there, fighting away, blom, 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 and it's just a rifle in the top corner. Have some of that. No one's saving that. Yeah. But is it all because of the foul here on Konate, who's underneath the ball and he's pushed? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Well, let's get into the fight. So this is the other annoying thing, because you have to go and find the actual clips because they don't really show it in the UK. They hide everything. Like if you're going on Twitter, you can't watch this in your country because we can't have it pointed out that we're really dodgy and you'll cancel your subscription to our sports service. So kind of hilarious. Everton player going and making fun of the Liverpool fans, and Curtis Jones reacts. He's only reacting because of the terrible refereeing performance. If that was a legitimate, slugfest of a game and they had scored a late winner, brilliant, they would have all gone, yay. But because of the circumstances where it's clear that Konate's fouled, it was clear that there wasn't a free kick in the first place, it was clear that Mo Salah was fouled. There's so many obvious errors in this game, and they're not errors. We've already covered that. We know they're not errors. Don't lie to us. We know. So he reacts in a way, and off he goes. Boof. Doesn't do anything, but starts this melee, 3 versus 1, off Curtis Jones goes, and then everyone else bundles in. 2 red cards, yeah, definitely send him off. But you know what? I don't mind the actual Everton player getting a bit of passionate, having a bit of a go at the fans, because football does need a little bit of that. But I don't like it in the way that the circumstances happened to make this happen. That the referee has made all of this drama happen. These players haven't done it on their own. The referee has wound up everybody. The referee has controlled this game. The referee has made all of these problems. And the referee has made this fight happen. We all know it. That's what's gone on. And it's a bit of a bundle. Scrappy. Yeah. And one thing that did crack me up is Nunes didn't come in. Like, I don't know if you've seen the clip when he goes to have a go at Pep Guardiola. And you see him, he started going, Jurgen Klopp grabs and he's like, no, get away, Nunes. But that's what I could feel was going to happen. Little argies and bargies. Here comes Nunes. Calm down. Quite funny. Slowing the whole thing down and breaking up the fight. Let me know in your with your comments below and what you think. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.